such that you can bring all of your data, right? So you can bring, whether it's Snowflake, whether it's Databricks, whether it's Oracle, whether it's our own SQL, what have you, bring it to the cloud. We have fantastic operational stores that are being plumbed for AI, right? Whether it's Cosmos DB or whether it is SQL Hyperscale or Fabric for analytic workloads. All of these are AI ready. In fact, if you look at even ChatGPT, they are some of the biggest users of Cosmos DB. Because where's their stateful applications, right? Where is all the user state of ChatGPT? It's in Cosmos. So to me, the data layer is a super important layer, and we are doing everything to make sure that we can help get the data in shape for you to be able to then use in conjunction with these models and to build models. Those are the two things, right? There is models that are being trained on the data, but you're also doing things like retrieval augmented generation using data. And so that's sort of why the proximity on the data gravity is a huge, locality of data will matter. Now, once you have the infrastructure and data, the third thing you have to do is to have the AI app server. In fact, if you look back, when the web happened, what did we do? We built IIS as the app server. When the cloud happened, what did we do? We started building the cloud app, native app server. Same thing with mobile. So every generation has required an app server, and that's what we're doing with Foundry. And with Foundry, it starts with models. Right? We have the rich, and obviously with OpenAI and OpenAI's innovation, now with O1, we're excited about what's going to come with O3, with obviously 4.0. All of that's available, plus all the open source models, right? Whether it's from Llama or Mistral. We have industry-specific models. Models that are being built out of India, where people are building for Indic languages, for India's vertical-specific needs. It's fantastic to see the amount of innovation that people are doing around models all over the world. And so we want to have the richest model catalog, and some of the more popular models will be available even as models as service, right? So they'll just be underneath a facade of an API that you can then go access. Now, once you have the models, you want to deploy these models. You want to be able to fine-tune these models. You want to be able to distill these models. You want to be able to do evaluations on these models. You want to be able to do groundedness tests. You want to be able to do safety. All of that, instead of building them all separately, we're building them all into the app server. In fact, evals are going to be the most important thing. So even for me, the guidance I give our teams is simple, which is stay on the frontier of the new model, and then make sure that you have agility in the app server layer so that you can keep moving with models, right? You'll use the first, like the latest sample, then you'll cost optimize it, latency optimize it, and you'll start fine-tuning it for your specific use cases for evals, right? So that's sort of the loop that you are constantly going through. And that's the idea behind Foundries, to just streamline all of that. Fantastic momentum again in India when I look at customers who are already deploying this, using it. In fact, lots of good feedback I'm gaining from lots of people. People are pushing on even these multi-agent type of deployments, so we're learning a lot, quite frankly, from some of the ambitious things that you all are doing, and we are definitely very, very grounded in how we are going to progress on that roadmap. I think next year, we'll not be talking as much about models, but we're going to be talking about model orchestration, model evals, and how you're able to deploy these model-forward applications. That, I think, is going to be the big shift across the industry. And so today, when I saw the folks at Bank of Baroda, they showed me three things, right? They showed three agents. They built a self-service agent. They built for the new customers. They built it basically a relationship manager agent. They also then built an agent for their own employees. I had a chance to see this fantastic startup, ClearTax. I guess I should be able to do my taxes on that, which is just simple. On a WhatsApp, you go submit your receipts, I guess, and then you get refunds. I love that part in particular. And then I had a chance to see the ICICI Lombard folks. And one thing I had not realized, in healthcare in India, for example, you don't have standardized claims forms. So each one is a novel, different entry. And so someone has to sort of go read it. That's where I think you can improve. Like you think about any time you improve healthcare efficiency, that improves the economy, right? Because you then have assurance of your insurance being taken care of. Make My Trip, I had a chance to meet with the team, and they're doing some phenomenal high ambition work of being able to take one of the more sophisticated industries and verticals around travel, and really whether it's hotels or whether it's air or whether it's other transportation, how do you really have a multi-agent framework that really they can deploy? But one of the other things is it's not just about the broad big companies that are, or startups that are doing it, but it's sort of the diffusion rate of this technology in India is what's exciting. So to that end, I just wanted to roll out, I just wanted you to see the video from the cooperative Baramati. Go ahead and roll out the video.
In India, we are producing some of the major crops in large quantity like sugarcane, wheat, rice, pulses, and cotton. But when we compare our yield with the other developed countries, it is too low. Soil erosion is the major problem in India today because of overuse of pesticides and fertilizer.
आणि नेमकं आपला उन्हाळ्यामध्ये पाण्याची कमतरता पडते. त्याच्यामुळे आणि उत्पन्न कमी झालेलं आहे.
LDT Baramati is working for the agriculture community for more than 5 decades. This trust was started to uplift the farmers who were very poor, had no resources. Through this, we have changed the life of millions of farmers.
AgriPilot.ai allows farmers to avoid guesswork and use science to give the ground truth to make the right decisions and make them successful.
In this project, we have selected 1,000 progressive farmers from across the Maharashtra. We have installed weather stations, sensors in the soil, and provided satellite support to all the farmers. We are collecting real-time data from the soil every day.
AgriPilot.ai uses Microsoft Azure Data Manager for agriculture for making the decisions. It's running more than 20 plus algorithms that can lead to accurate results based on the historical pattern. Azure OpenAI allows the farmer to ask the questions in local languages, which can be delivered on their WhatsApp.
They are precisely using irrigation, fertigation, and pesticide practices in their farm.
म्हणजे पिकात डायरेक्ट आपल्याला लगेचच लक्षात येतं. पीक तर अगदी जोमानं आलेलं आहे. फुटव्यांची संख्या पण वाढलेली आहे आणि ह्याची रोपांची म्हणजे उंची पण वाढलेली आहे. तर माझ्या पूर्ण क्षेत्रावरती मी अशा पद्धतीनं ऊसाचं पीक लावण्याचा ठरवलेला आहे की जेणेकरून माझा खर्च कमी होईल आणि उत्पन्न जास्त येईल.
To me, it sort of really connects all the dots, right? It sort of connects the dots between even all the technologies we have been building, right? From Azure IoT, the data connectivity back to a data plane, and then to be able to use something like Azure AI, but ultimately to empower a farmer to be able to do their farming with higher yields. That, I think, in some sense, speaks to the power of this technology and what we can do with it. Now, the last layer I want to talk about, if you have infra, you have data, you have the AI app server, is tools. Now, I always go back, Microsoft started as a tools company. We continue to be super passionate about our tooling. With GitHub, it's fantastic to see what's happening, right? We have now 17 million members of GitHub in India. It's the second largest community next to the United States. In fact, it's projected to be the largest. I guess I forget the year. I think 2028. Yeah, so I can't wait 3 years from now. 2028 is when the crossover will happen, where India will have more developers on GitHub. It's just exciting to see that. Now, we also have contributions from India to AI projects that are just second to the United States. And so it's fantastic to see the active involvement of the developer community out of India in making progress on all the open source projects on GitHub when it comes to AI. It just speaks to, again, the talent there is and the energy there is in this community. Now, we're continuing to make great progress on GitHub Copilot. One of the features that I was looking forward to, we now have, which is the multi-file edits. right? So first we started with continuations, we then had chat, we brought continuations plus chat together, and then brought it to multi-file. That's fantastic so that I can do repo level edits. Now, the other thing we are also doing is bringing a free tier. In fact, we just launched it in December, and I think in India it's sort of like the place where it's really taken off. We're very, very excited about bringing to VS Code GitHub Copilot free tier and seeing that now broadly getting distributed. The feature or the product area, back, I forget now, 2019, now or maybe not 2020, I think is when I first saw GitHub Copilot. That's when my own conviction on what LLMs can do completely changed when I started seeing it. Similarly, when I first saw GitHub Copilot Workspace is when I felt like time had come for us to make the next leap beyond chat to real agents. Because that's what it is, right? GitHub Copilot Workspace is the first agentic sort of piece where you now can take a GitHub issue, create a spec, which you can edit, you can create a plan, you can then edit the plan, and then you can see it execute across the full repo. And to show all of this, I wanted to invite up my colleague Karan up on stage. Karan?
Thanks, Satya. While Copilot offers contextualized AI assistance in your developer environment, Copilot Workspace is the next evolution, an agentic AI-native developer platform that helps you turn your ideas into code using natural language. So let's see it in action with our computer G. All right, we have an application here that lets us sell sporting equipment online, including some cool cricket gear. However, there's no way to add new products through an admin page. Let's see if we can build one using Copilot Workspace. I have an issue here that describes my requirement, which is an admin page to add new products. Usually, I'd create a new branch and start thinking about how to implement it myself. But with Copilot Workspace, I can get started right here from an issue. So Copilot Workspace gets to work right away on how to solve this issue. I'm in control, so I can make edits to the plan as needed. With the new Brainstorm agent, you can use Copilot Workspace iteratively. Based on the context, Brainstorm shares a few suggested questions to get started, or I can even ask my own. On the admin page we are creating, I'd also like to add a requirement to upload product images. So let's ask Brainstorm with Copilot Workspace and see if we can make it happen. And this time, I'll ask it in Hindi. All right, and there it is. Just like that, it's listed a few ideas for me. Use a file input element, a drag and drop area, or a third-party library. Since I already have an existing component, I'm going to use that. I can click Add to Task and add it to my context right over here. Looks good, so I will click Generate Plan to move forward. So Workspace then generates a list of what changes to make in which files. And when I'm ready, I can ask Copilot Workspace to implement the plan and make the necessary changes. And there it is. That's nice. Copilot Workspace has made changes to multiple files, including writing a whole new page. With Copilot Workspace, you can now keep iterating on your plan and implementation by asking for a revision. Let's ask Copilot for a revision. I'd like to ask it to show me a preview of the image I upload. And this time, I'm going to ask it in Kannada. I'll say image upload ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅದರ preview ತೋರಿಸಿ, and there it is. Awesome, right? Copilot Workspace understood what I meant. It updated the plan and also implemented all the necessary changes. That's great, right? All right, now before we proceed further, let's run some tests first to make sure my code doesn't turn into a horror story in production. We made some great enhancements to the commands you can perform in Copilot Workspace. Build, test, and run are pretty common scenarios, and I have the commands configured here. I can execute the test command, which will run the test for me right here within Copilot Workspace. Looks like my test failed. My bad. I thought my code didn't need tests. But hey, it's Copilot to the rescue. I can ask Copilot Workspace to fix this for me. The build and repair agent within Copilot Workspace comes up with a solution on how to fix this error, which I can apply. And then it goes back and makes the necessary edits, in this case, modifying the test. So let me go back and then rerun the test, hoping that I'm as good as a tester I think I might be. And there, it all works. Great. So now I think my feature might be ready, and I want to see a preview of my app. I can execute the run command right here within Copilot Workspace, which will bring up a development server that's accessible right over here. And I can open up a preview of it, and there's my admin page, along with the image upload functionality that I needed, completely written using Copilot Workspace. So in the past few minutes, we went from an idea described on an issue, brainstormed with Copilot Workspace, implemented code, and also fixed errors, all while working in natural language. And this is the AI native developer environment, an agentic workflow that moves as fast as your creativity. Thanks, everyone. Back to Satya.